Available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. A Massapequa music teacher was arrested and charged for allegedly strangling his sister-in-law to death after lusting after her for years.
Murder on Long Island. An elementary school music teacher charged with murdering his sister-in-law.
The Nassau County District Attorney says Joseph Horner lived in an upstairs apartment in this same home as the victim.
He allegedly asked her to help him move a piano, but instead he did the unthinkable.
Long Island reporter Krista McNally live in North Massapequa. And Krista, I mean, the details of this case just so disturbing.
The details disturbing, and many of them hard to hear as we were sitting in the courtroom today. Now, what we know is that an elementary school music teacher from Oceanside is being accused of strangling his sister-in-law to death. That is according to prosecutors. They say they both lived in this home in North Massapequa on separate levels of the home. Tonight, we are learning more about the victim and the horrifying details in this story. And I will warn you, the details you are about to hear are very disturbing.
Some scary stuff.
Joseph Horner allegedly asked his sister-in-law, Victoria Castle, to help him move a piano in his apartment. Once there, prosecutors say that he attacked the 25-year-old victim from behind and placed her in a chokehold until her body went limp. According to prosecutors, Horner then sexually abused the woman, changed his clothes, and called the police.
The male caller requested police and an ambulance to this location for a deceased female.
Horner waited at the scene for police to arrive. CPR was administered, and the victim was transported to a nearby hospital where she was pronounced dead, according to Nassau police. Prosecutors say Horner admitted to lusting over his sister-in-law since 2017. They say the 27-year-old's wife was at a bachelorette party at the time of the attack.
He is married. He's been married for 3 years, and his wife was not home at the time.
The North Massapequa man is an elementary school music teacher. Oceanside School District released a statement saying, in part, this staff member has been placed on administrative leave effective immediately pending further review. We have no further information at this time.
He's been an Oceanside teacher. He's tenured. He's very well loved by his students and his colleagues. This seems to be allegations that are very not in line with what the community and his friends and his family would believe.
Horner pled not guilty to murder in the second degree.
He looks like he's still in shock.
It was very emotional in the courtroom as Castle's family was crying and hugging one another. She was a student in the process of getting her PhD at Stony Brook University. Horner's family was also present. Neither wanted to comment on the allegations.
I mean, I've been living here my whole life, and nothing like this has ever occurred before. First time, I got the chills, I'm shaking.
Horner was held without bail. He faces 25 years to life in prison if convicted. That is the latest from North Massapequa. Krista McNally, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Now, according to reports, 27-year-old music teacher Joseph Horner lived in an apartment upstairs with his wife inside of the same home that his sister-in-law and her husband lived. And as Joseph Horner was living in this apartment, he allegedly was lusting after his sister-in-law, Victoria Castle. And as he was lusting after this sister-in-law, he allegedly was waiting for the perfect opportunity to go out here and look to allegedly take advantage of her. And that opportunity came when Joseph Horner's wife decided to go to a bachelorette party. And as she was going to this bachelorette party, this is where Joseph Horner allegedly asked Victoria Castle to come upstairs to the apartment to move a piano. Now, once Victoria Castle allegedly came into that apartment to help Joseph Horner move that piano, that's where he grabbed Victoria Castle from behind, placed her into a chokehold, and choked her until she was completely unconscious. And as she was unconscious, this is where Joseph Horner is alleged to have allegedly SA'd this woman's body. And after SAing this woman's body, Joseph Horner then changed his clothes, then contacted the paramedics, and after paramedics came to the home, that's where the paramedics then took the woman, Victoria Castle, administered CPR, took her to a hospital, and sadly wound up pronouncing her dead. Now, after pronouncing her dead, this is where police then started to do their own investigation. And as they did their own investigation, they concluded that Joseph Horner was the one who wound up taking his sister-in-law's life, and was the one who basically did this because he was lusting after his sister-in-law and seeing her every day coming at the home. This man basically lusted after this woman and wound up taking this woman's life. Now, the police here in Long Island are seeing this as an isolated incident. However, when I take a critical examination of the alleged behavior that Joseph Horner is accused of participating in, it definitely fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis, and also fits within the pattern and profile of manginas that I talk about in my book, Manginas. They look like men, but they act like ladies, and the behavior of psycho simps that I talk about in my book, Stop Simping: Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance. Now, what's really scary about this Joseph Horner is that he's one of those beta male type guys who basically is one who hides his feelings for women out here. And as he's going out here having fantasies about this woman in a place I call the secret world, the woman that he's going out here lusting after has no idea of the danger that she's in. And she has no idea of the danger that she's in because this man, basically, what he's done is he's created a fantasy revolving around this woman. And as he's created this fantasy revolving around this woman inside of his head, what he's doing is he's got this idea of what this woman is. And as he's got this idea of what he wants this woman to be, he's basically waiting for the opportunity to go out here and look to participate in his deviant fantasies that he's imagined. And that's what sadly happened when Joseph Horner's wife decided to go to this bachelorette party to celebrate one of her friends possibly going out here to get married. That's where this psycho simp then saw the opportunity to be able to take advantage of his sister-in-law. And as he was basically alone, he basically saw that his sister-in-law was alone at the home. And as he saw his sister-in-law allegedly alone at the home, that's where he came up with the pretense to say, hey, I need you to move this piano, when in actuality, what he wanted to do was go out here and make a move on this woman, and not make a move on this woman as related to adultery, but wanted to make a move as related to sexual violence, because for this man, it was all about seeing this woman not as a person, but as an object as related to his disturbing and twisted fantasies. And as he saw this woman as an opportunity to have his twisted fantasies, he lured this woman allegedly into this home and then choked this woman out. And as he choked this woman out, he took away her agency, he took away her ability to make a choice as he looked to violate this woman's body. And as he violated this woman's body, then went to go out here and then look to change his clothes and then make it look like this woman had some sort of fainting spell or some sort of accident, and in an effort to try to cover up things to continue to maintain his smooth world. And this is the type of behavior that these type of beta males do, because what they want to do is, again, they want to be able to participate in their deviancy in the secret world and then keep their life in the regular world smooth. And that's what this guy thought he would be able to get away with. However, what happened was as police did their investigation, what they possibly saw were the ligature marks on this woman's neck from this man choking her. And then as they did their own autopsy, then started to see things as related to the body not being right, and possibly even saw, again, sexual trauma to this woman's body, and that's where they possibly wound up concluding that this man had possibly done something to this woman, and as a result, after doing their investigation, then possibly took this man into custody and wound up arresting him for this disturbing crime. Now, the crime that this man has done, again, is on the level of the type of disturbing behavior that these beta males participate in, that basically shows an escalation of their behavior, because when it comes to these beta males, what they have is a spectrum of deviant behavior where they start out fantasizing about a woman and fixating on a woman, and then as they fixate and fantasize about that woman, eventually what they do is they start looking to interact with that woman, and as they look to interact with that woman, it's not to have a relationship with an actual person, because if this guy wanted to have an actual relationship with this woman, he could have gone out here and made his advance. But when it comes to the beta male, they don't want to be seen as the bad guy, so what they'll do is they'll go out here and look to keep their image good, and what they want to do is say, hey, I'll go to the secret world to participate in my deviant behavior, and that's what this guy basically did. He went to go out here, he wanted to go out here and assault this woman in a way that he thought he could get away with it and keep his life smooth. Unfortunately, what happened was this woman wound up dying as a result, and now this woman is now dead, and her husband is a widower, and his wife basically now knows what a monster this man is. And what's even scarier about this situation is that this man was out here teaching little children. That's what makes it even more disturbing to me, but it's par for the course with these type of beta males. And this beta male, basically, I believe what's going to happen to him is that eventually he's going to go from being this teacher who was in the authority of children to being under the authority of the CEOs, and we'll have to deal with the social pecking order of Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles, and it's inside of the penitentiary where he possibly will be reaping what he sowed, later than what he sowed, greater than what he sowed, as Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles wind up trading this dude's front side and backside as they turn it from a tight end into a wide receiver for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light lemonade, packets of Crystal Light tea, Taster Choice coffee, Keef coffee, off-brand lemon lime drink, off-brand grape drink, off-brand kiwi strawberry drink, off-brand mango drink, off-brand cranberry juice, off-brand orange juice, off-brand flavored water, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand vanilla wafers, off-brand ginger snaps, Hunt's snack pack pudding, beef jerky with cheddar cheese, beef jerky with mozzarella cheese, beef jerky with Monterey Jack cheese, beef summer sausage, packages of Velveeta cheese sauce, packages of soy sauce, packages of sriracha sauce, packages of honey mustard, packages of pretzels, packages of the whole shebang chips, packages of hot flamin' Cheetos, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies, bear claws, honey buns, pieces of pound cake. They basically gonna wind up going out here pounding the front side and the back side inside of cell block D, and then ask Mr. Sprinkles to come in, spray this dude's face and have it glazed looking like he ate some fried chicken, and then after Mr. Sprinkles sprays the backside, then call all the guys from cell block D to go out here and hear this music teacher sing as he splits the cheeks open and basically shows his backside looking like the inner ring circle of a Louisiana crunch cake. And that's where this bastard will basically get what he deserves as related to the crime that he basically is accused of participating in, because what this man did was completely reprehensible to again go out here and look to again covet his brother's wife, and then go out here and look to go out here and lust after this woman, and then look to again do harm to family. That's what makes this guy, again, a multi-level monster. And again, it's when it comes to these type of nice guy type guys, they are monsters on multiple levels. Because again, I think about, how disturbing this guy's behavior is. Again, dude was basically a music teacher for children, and on top of that, again, it makes me shudder that this guy was in the presence of children, and as he was in the presence of children, people didn't know the predator that they were dealing with, and this guy, as he was again in a home with his family, basically again sitting there lusting after his sister, and again the lust after the sister-in-law was basically about power. It was all about him again being possibly upset that this woman was a woman who was on the way to getting her PhD, and what he possibly wanted to do was go out here and look to humiliate this woman. He wanted to go out here and thought, oh, I'm just a music teacher. This woman's on the way to having a PhD. And basically, as he saw this woman on the way to getting this PhD, wanted to go out here and look to humiliate and abuse this woman, as he saw her as this object that of his not really his desire, but of his quest for power. It was all about power with these guys, and you really have to understand, again, with these beta males, they have severe inferiority complexes, and those severe inferiority complexes motivate these men to go out here and look to do harm to the people they're closest to, and that's what makes them a clear and present danger for anybody around them, and that's what makes them some of the most dangerous men in the man crisis. That's what makes them some of the most dangerous type of men in this whole man crisis. And the scariest part of this whole situation is that not only was this guy a teacher in the music as related to kids, he and basically again did harm to his own family. What's even scarier than that is that there's a bumper crop of these type of males in society, and they're a clear and present danger that nobody wants to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about the dangers that these men pose as related to the dysfunctional frame of thinking that they have, and the culture that basically breeds these type of men and the type of monstrous behavior they participate in. Now, if you want to learn how to identify the behavior of a beta male like this, you can pick up my books, The Man Crisis and Manginas. They look like men, but they act like ladies, on Amazon.com in paperback, and Manginas is just in Kindle format. And you can also find those books on other online booksellers like Draft Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to learn more about psycho simps, you can pick up my book, Stop Simping: Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, on Amazon.com as well in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find that all those books at all the other online booksellers that I mentioned. And if you want to see me make more videos talking about the man crisis, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle, Vampires Stalk the Darkness of the Eternal Night. Get your copy of Eternal Night in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.